2021. Happy New Year. I'm so glad to have all of you join us this evening for Financial Freedom. Anita and I welcoming in a um, new year and new opportunities. And as always, we want to start with a prayer. And I'll start the opening prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for your continued mercy and blessings that are offered to us each and every day, Lord. Thank you for all of those that have joined us this evening to talk about financial freedom. Lord, we pray for their families, loved ones, and community, that you keep us safe in your words, Lord, that we trust and we will always obey. These and all blessings we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So we want to kick this new year off with our financial freedom discussion. Anita and um, I want to level set the year. Let's start off right. We've been talking for a while about our budgets, our will, and all of those things that will help us be successful. And one of the things I thought of is your mindset. And if you guys can see that, is everything. It really is in the mindset. What everything that you do. So let's keep that in the forefront. Keep our mindset right. And me and the camera have playing tricks with each other, but I think I'll get it right here sooner or later. Um, our 2021 budget, if you haven't already, let's go ahead and put our budgets together. Let's set our goals and list all of your expenses. What were those things in 2020 that were a surprise to you? Because you don't want them to be a surprise in 2021. So we want to make sure that we are including those things in our goals, listing out all of our expenses. If we have new expenses, those things should be added to our budget spreadsheet as well, so that we are having a holistic look at the way that we manage our budget. You know, everything from our rent to our mortgage, our utility bills, um, those things are included. One of the things we talked about in financial freedom is let's take a look at those things that we pay, like car insurance, home insurance, even our mobile bills, and let's challenge those to make sure that we are getting the best deals that we can, because a lot of times we set it and forget it. And Anita always reminds me of this, especially with my homeowner's insurance. I can tend to get comfortable with the company that's providing me service and not go back and challenge that from year to year. But all you have to do is start with your current policy. Look at the coverage that you have with your current policy. And when you go to those other companies to shop around, if you want that same coverage, let them know you want that coverage and ask, what can you do for me? You know, what deals can you do? I received within the last 2 weeks, I've received about 5 or 6 offers from companies wanting to offer me a better deal for my homeowner's insurance, and it's time to shop it.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm not, married to any particular company as long as I have the correct coverage, and it's a reputable company. You know, sometimes we look at the fact that it's an Allstate or a State Farm or Travelers Insurance, and we say, oh, those are the best companies. But there are other companies out there that are offering the same exact services, and you'll save money on your premium. So don't skip on those things to challenge those. Again, let's go back and challenge those credit card companies. So we want to be debt free. We want to get rid of that credit card altogether and just keep one to two that we use. And as we learned from Nicole Diaz last time, it's not a bad thing to have the credit cards. You just want to have that zero balance, because you don't want to ever pay anyone to use their money. And that's what we do when we're carrying that balance from month to month. The other thing is adjusting your expectations. For me this year, I really want to hone in on my savings and investing. So I'm an avid shopper. That's my weakness. And I want to challenge myself to take what I've been doing with shopping, because I'm not wearing the clothes anyway. They're sitting in the closet collecting dust, but I want to invest in myself. So taking those funds and investing it back into my future is how I'm looking at it. So whatever your challenge is, I would have you put that down on your goals and set a stretch goal as well as a goal you think might be obtainable. And the other thing I want to remind everybody of is your emergency fund. If you have your emergency fund and you did not have to touch it in 2020, bravo. I'm very proud of you. But if you had to touch it, it was there for an emergency. And if you used it for an emergency, I'm glad that you had it and you were able to use it. But now let's build it back up again, because we should always have it there, because we never know when those emergencies might happen. Okay. So let's work on building that emergency fund back up if you had to use it, and then take a look at it and see, do you have enough in that emergency fund? Things are going up and prices are changing. So if you had to put a new roof on the house, or if you had to have all of a sudden a car repair, does your emergency fund cover, will it cover those expenses? Ask yourself those things. All right. So we talked about the budget, talked about our goals. The mindset is shifting and changing. Let's talk about savings. Um, the small group back in early December, we said we would do a 30-day savings challenge, and um, we were supposed to start in January, but since we shifted our platform and have gone live with everyone joining us, I'd like to change that to start in February. And so this will be on the church's website, but it's the 30-day savings plan. And it starts out with the first day $1, and then you'll increase for the 30 days. At the end of the 30 days, you should have $465. Um, and with that $465, we want to invest that. Let's take that 465 and reinvest it back in us. Because if we take that 465 and we just spend it, are we being financially responsible for what we have? And we still have it on our agenda to start a savings club. So I'm still working on that for us, and I'm going to have a guest speaker to come next month and talk to us about investing more, someone from Merrill Lynch, whom I know, and to help us out with that and give us some tips and ideas. So when we have that 465, we're ready to start investing or continue investing in what you've been investing in. And so I see a question that popped up. How much do you suggest a person should have in their emergency fund? I always like to start out with at least $1,000 in the emergency fund. If we can shoot for having at least $1,000 set aside, but you should know what your expenses are and what you possibly might need moving forward. So starting out with $1,000. If $1,000 is too much of a stretch for you, do $400. But start somewhere. That's the key, is starting somewhere. with your emergency fund? Thank you for that question. So, all right, we're ready. We're going to have we're going to start February 1st with the 465 um, that we'll have to start our investment club. So, I'm excited about it. I hope you all are too. And it's really one of those things that I want to make it fun. I have a piggy bank. So what I'd like to do is February 1st, I'd like to have everybody for the first financial freedom session we have in February. Everybody bring their piggy bank, or even better, if you can take pictures of your piggy bank and send them. I'd like to share some of those. And let's get creative. If you're going to put your money in a boot, send a picture of your boot. Mine is a little fat pig that I have, and I'm going to dress her up a little bit. I'm going to put some little fur around her ears and things like that. Let's just kind of make it fun and get the kids involved. You know, that's what this is about. Each one teach one. So we want to get excited about savings and moving forward. Okay, and we might highlight them on the website. Get pastor's permission and put those unique ideas out there on our website to show everybody what we're doing in this financial freedom. All right, so I want to turn it over to Miss Anita Williams to talk to us about stock and tax. It's that time of the year, y'all.
It is. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. My name is Anita Williams, and I own First Premier Tax Service. I've been in business now 7 years, and the reason I started my own tax service, and I don't know if this has happened to anyone else out there, but you go to a tax professional, you pay them your hard-earned money, and you have a problem with the IRS. They send you a letter, you contact your tax professional, thinking they're going to tell you what to do and walk you through it. And it didn't happen to me once. It happened to me twice because I had a business and I was having them do all my paperwork. No one would return my call. I had to go face the IRS by myself. So I said, you know what? It's not, I don't like the way I'm being treated. So I'm sure other people are being treated the same way. So I promise you, if you come to First Premier Tax, I answer my phone, I answer my text, and trust me, I've been getting phone call and text for the last 2 weeks, ever since the stimulus started. But again, I believe in treating people like I want to be treated. So at First Premier Tax, we treat you like your family, and you're just not a number here. So what we want to do is I want to go over taxes first, and then we'll talk a little bit about stock. The IRS will open on January 27th. I am opening my tax office on January 18th because I like to get a head start. And some people just have questions before everything starts rolling out. And I can be reached at firstpremiertax@gmail.com. And that is the number one, ST, Premier, PREMIER, tax service @gmail.com. So the first thing you want to do is start now getting your paperwork. I know you don't have your W-2, and people, if you got any unemployment, please do not rush to your tax preparer until you get your 1099-G, your W-2s, and if you had Obamacare, you have to have your 1095-A. Because what will happen, you will rush to the IRS, to the tax preparer like myself, and we'll ask you, is this everything? And you'll say yes because you want to hurry and get it in. And if you're missing one item, it's going to throw your return into audit, and it's going to sit. And they're going to send you a letter, and you're going to bring the letter back to me. And so you're going to get behind because you rushed and didn't wait until you had all your documentation. So if you know you've paid a mortgage all year, go ahead and look online, because a lot of the banks go ahead and put your interest online. You don't have to wait till they mail them. Most of the people with interest will put them online. So you can take a shortcut there. If you paid taxes and insurance on your mortgage, look on your bank statement or your mortgage statement. It's normally on your December statement. If not, it will be on your January statement. So you don't have to wait until February. Just because the IRS doesn't open until the 27th, don't wait until the 27th to start getting your documentation in order. And Bridget had a great question to me the other day. She was like, okay, How do you keep up with everything you need to do for the next year? And when you are self-employed, or if you did your taxes last year, look at your last year taxes and see if things are along the line. If you did anything new, then you add that. But if not, those interests, the taxes, everything is not gonna. It shouldn't change from last year unless you had a lifestyle change. So if you forget what you did, just pull your last year taxes. Look at your profit and loss statement, because the one thing the IRS does not like is a big change. So if you have a big change, you have to have a rationale for that. If there was a lifestyle change, that's fine, but you just cannot show big changes and don't have the documentation to back it up. Now, that's January 27th. People have been calling about their stimulus. My phone rings every day. I don't know why the IRS is telling the individuals to call your tax preparer. We do not have your stimulus money, but I think they're kicking the can down the road. But this is the update that I received today. The IRS did send a batch of refunds to the wrong designations. So they have realized they sent them out incorrectly. So they're asking everyone to give them until February 1st to get you your money. Now, if you got a direct deposit the last time, you may get a check this time, because some errors have gone on with the IRS. And trust me when I tell you, there's nobody to complain to about the IRS. You have to be patient. You have to call. Hopefully you can get a nice customer service person, that you can talk to, but there's no organization that oversees the IRS. So if you have not received your stimulus and you're going on the IRS website and it's saying it's not available, don't panic. It's telling people that they've gotten their money. So understand the IRS is one entity. They're tasked with doing stimulus, and guess what? They're going to have to flip their hats in about a week and start doing tax returns. These are the same people. And when you think of the IRS, I think you may think of people, that's sitting there with a three-piece suit. No, they're hourly workers. They work 9 to 5 just like everybody else, and they make errors just like everybody else. So when you're looking for your stimulus, be patient. You have to give them until February 1st. Now, if you haven't gotten your stimulus by February 1st, they will be giving a credit on your tax return for your 2020 tax return. And what that will do, when they get all the updates done, they will send it to the tax preparer. It will be a section there that we have to fill out if you haven't gotten your stimulus. What it will do, once you submit that 2020 tax return, it will generate the IRS to send you your stimulus. Now, we're hoping that it doesn't get to that point, but just be prepared for it to get to that point, because they have a lot going on. And understand, now that Joe Biden has taken office, hopefully, we're crossing our fingers, there will be more stimulus coming. Again, this is the same people that's tasked with doing the stimulus and the IRS. So don't think they're going to all come as soon as you snap your finger, but they will come. So I wanted to say that because I know that's pressing on a lot of people's minds. The next thing, what will they hold my stimulus for? Miss Anita, if I owe the IRS some money, will they? No. The only thing they will hold your stimulus for is if you owe child support. If you owe child support, that stimulus check will be routed to your child. Wherever your obligations lie, it will go there. You will get a letter saying that your stimulus was applied to your outstanding child support. That is the only thing. They won't hold it for student loans or any of that. Child support is the only thing that will take your stimulus check. So that was another question that I get all the time. So next, if you had a baby after you filed your taxes last year, so say you had a baby in June, July, anywhere after you did your taxes, when you go to your tax preparer in the next couple of weeks, you want to apply for that $500 credit because you didn't get it on the first stimulus. Okay, so you want to apply for your 2020 credit for that child because they were still born in 2020, although you'd already done your taxes. Now, when 2021 comes, this second stimulus, that new baby is eligible for that $600 stimulus. So we're talking $1,100 if you had a new baby after tax season. So keep that in mind because that's a big game changer that a lot of people don't realize. So again, when you go to get your taxes done, you want to talk to your tax preparer if you had a baby after you did your taxes, because those are credits that are out there that you're eligible to get. But just like anything else, if you don't get that credit in this year, you cannot go back next year and say, oh, I forgot to get my credit. The IRS doesn't work that way. You can only get it for the following year when you were supposed to claim it. Okay? So now I want to talk a little bit about when you go to your tax preparer. When you go to your tax preparer, if you're going to into the office, I'm please respect and think about your health. Think about your tax preparer health. Follow the COVID guidelines. I'm going to be providing masks, hand sanitizer, a cup for clean pens, a cup for dirty pens. Let's just try to stay safe. And let's not get offended when people ask you to wear a face mask, because if you don't want to protect yourself, then I'm trying to protect me. So if you don't want to do that, there's always that option. If you have a smartphone, you don't have to come into my office. You can take a picture of all your documents, your W-2, your driver's license, your social security card, all of your documents. You can take a picture and email it to my website. This is what technology will do. You can email all of this to firstpremiertax@gmail.com, and we can get the information to you that way. We will have electronic signatures, so there will be no reason that you will have to come into the office if you don't want to. So keep all of that in mind, because you can get your taxes done, and you can get them done safely, or you can get them done online. I do taxes everywhere from Alaska all the way to New York City. So it doesn't matter where you live, I can get your taxes done. Now, the next thing we want to change gears, the last thing before I let you all go to the next subject, is your stimulus. If for some reason you closed your checking account out, if for some reason the bank closed your checking account out for not keeping the balance, whatever the reason may be, don't panic. They're going to mail you a check to the address that was on your last return. Okay? The address on your last return is where your stimulus will go. So if you use your grandmother's address, you need to be telling grandma, keep an eye out for my check, because that's where it's going to go. I can't tell you how many calls I've gotten asking me, Miss Nita, what address did I use last year? And so just be in mind that, you have to use the address that you used last year.
Anita,
Uh-huh.
we have a question.
Sure.
The question is, what if a person no longer have to file tax returns? Will they get direct payment? And I'm assuming that's the stimulus.
Oh, okay. As far as this, thank you, Bridget, because I can't.
You're welcome.
So if you are disabled, if you are retired, you are eligible for the stimulus. The only way you will not get that stimulus is if you're being carried as a dependent. If you're being carried as a dependent on someone else's return, you will not get that stimulus if you're an adult. Okay? So let's just say my dad's 80, 81. And if I carry him on my taxes and I don't qualify for the stimulus, he doesn't get it even if I qualify. Because when you tell the IRS that's my dependent, they feel like, okay, that person is adult, you're taking care of them, so they're not entitled to the benefit. Now, if he's on his own, he would get that. He would get that $600. So if you're disabled or if you're retired and you're not being carried as a dependent, you are eligible for the stimulus.
Is there any place that they should go and apply, or it would just automatically happen?
Automatic. And this is what I try to tell people. If you're getting a benefit from the government, they already know you're getting it because they're sending it to you. Okay? So they already know you're getting it. So they have your information. If you already have direct deposit, they have that information. If you get it mailed, they'll mail it. Now I have been told that some of the retirees Instead of it going in their direct deposit, it's being mailed, but you will get it. No, there's nothing you need to do. The government already, trust me, they know more about you than you think they do. So they already know you exist. So they will send it as long as you're not being carried out.
Thank you.
Okay, and let me know if another question come up, okay?
I will.
Okay, so now that's pretty much it for taxes. There's going to be a lot of, changes to the tax code. As a tax preparer, we don't know what the final changes are until we keep getting the updates from the IRS. So I know the one for the credit is coming down the pipe, I'm sorry, but it has not been finalized. But we should be getting that in our software updated. Now, I want to talk about trading. And I just want to share with you all, because these are tough times. And the last time I saw tough times like this was 2008. And when I tell you, tough times it will make you creative. It will make you think outside the box to survive. Okay. So in 2008, I saw my whole financial future had to shift because I was in real estate and I had to make that shift because everybody know the real estate it tanked. Okay. So I made that transition and I opened a car dealership. Now fast forward to 2020. Last year I had to close my tax office early because COVID hit. My youngest son got diagnosed with COVID and I had to shut it down. So what I came home and I said, okay, I got to do something. And I'm looking like, okay, the stock market is plummeting. Whenever the stock market plummets, most people feel like that's terrible. But understand, you want to buy low and sell high. So whenever the stock market pulls back or have a lull or it goes down, that's when you want to buy. You don't want to buy high. So I sat down, I signed up for Audible, I signed up for like several tax trading books, and I knew, I know the basic about trading, but I never day traded for a living. So 9 months ago to this month, I started teaching myself to day trade, listening to Audibles, listening to CNBC, reading Yahoo Finance. You have to educate yourself. If you're not going to educate yourself, you better follow somebody who's educated real close. So you want to get educated. And so what I did is I said, okay, I can't do my taxes anymore, so let me find another way to make some income. So I did that, and I opened the TD Ameritrade account. And I tell anybody, there are a lot of them out there, but if you are new and you're looking for information and you're trying to walk yourself through it, start with TD Ameritrade. Now, I'm not knocking any of the other platforms. They're great, but I was new. And a lot of the things I didn't understand. So I wanted a course that would let me learn at my pace. And they have videos, 2 to 3 minute videos. And you can look at them as many times as you want until you get it down pat. So what I did was I started day trading. And that was 9 months ago. 9 months later, I have doubled my portfolio. You can do it too. If you don't know where to start, the first thing you want to do is go to my YouTube channel. And it is Building Wealth from Home with Anita. Again, that's Building Wealth from Home with Anita on my YouTube channel. And I walk you through step by step exactly what I did when I got started. So if I can do it, you can. So 9 months ago, I started, okay? In August, Tesla split, okay? That stock split. I bought Tesla for $400 a share. Now, I'm not wealthy and I don't have money to just throw away. I bought 15 shares and that was a lot to me. If you can only buy 2 shares, buy 2. But I bought 15 shares at $400. Tesla is trading today, and today was a down day, for $811. Now anybody doing quick math, that's double. That's double. You just doubled your money. Sitting at the computer, okay? I bought Riot, which is a Bitcoin blockchain company, for $6.99. Back in August, it's trading at $22.64 on a down day. Yes, Friday, when Bridget looked at these numbers, they were much higher. But that's the stock market, okay? The last one, well, not the last one, but Plug. I started trading Plug. It was in the teens, like $12, $13. Today it closed at $53.97, and that was a down day for Plug. But when I tell you Plug has got a big future ahead of it, but this is what you do. You start off, you buy a little bit, you add to your position, as just like Bridget said, when you're building your savings, the same way when you're doing stocks. Allot yourself, even if it's $100 a month, if it's $100 a week, whatever you can afford. That's how you keep adding to your position. Okay. Now, for those of you that are wanting to get started and you want to get started with a stock that's not that expensive, I have a stock that I just started trading about 2 weeks ago, and it is BFARF. That's a $2 stock. It is a Bitcoin stock. And anybody that knows Bitcoin, it is the future, I feel. Now, this is just my personal feeling. I feel that this is the future. If you look around, they're already starting to make credit cards with Bitcoin. Every time you use that credit card, you earn Bitcoin. Okay? That's where the future is going. If you start looking around at these big companies, they're investing in Bitcoin. Okay? Bitcoin is like $40,000. We can't afford that. I can afford that a share. So what you want to do is look at the companies that support it. Okay, look at the companies that's just getting started. Another small one is CAN. They make the equipment that service the mining equipment for Bitcoin. That's a $6 stock. But that's how you get started in the stock market. If you can't afford the Teslas, if you can't afford Apple, get started in a anything that's under $10. Get started there, and that way you won't feel like, you're shell shocked if it goes the wrong way. But again, be patient, because the one thing that trading stock has taught me is patience. Because I've lost a lot of money by panicking when I saw the market going down and jumping out instead of just waiting. And Warren Buffett says this: when everybody's rushing out, that's when he rushes in, because that's when the great trades are made. Okay, so what I need to repeat, say that what I
Nita, can you repeat the first stock, the crypto stock that you meant?
the first crypto stock was
That you meant.
Riot, RIOT. That's the first one I bought at $6.99. It's trading at $22.64 right now.
And what was the second one? I'm sorry that you meant.
BFARF. It's called Bitfarm, and it's a $2 stock. This is a Canadian company that's getting into Bitcoin. Okay.
And Anita, I want to switch back just for a second. We had a comment come up about the taxes.
Okay.
Is there an income limit for getting the stimulus check?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. If you are single and you make more than $87,000, you don't qualify. If you are married and you make more than 150, you don't qualify. So I don't care if you've got 5 dependents on your return, you don't get paid on any of them. There is a limit. And what it is, it's designed to try to help the people that are struggling financially. So they feel like if you're hitting those numbers, you didn't struggle last year. Now, if last year you made it and this year you're on unemployment, then you will qualify when you do your taxes this year. Okay? But yeah, that is the limit.
Anita, I want to chime in. I know the one thing that you and I talked about is this our new presidency that will be sworn in on the 20th.
Right.
And we started to look at those things when we looked at Plug, that administration to see, where should we be investing?
Okay. Yes. Now, Joe Biden is going to be sworn in on January 20th. Joe Biden is going to take this the U.S., to clean energy. So you want to invest in electric vehicles, you want to invest in solar, you want to invest in hydrogen, anything that's clean energy, that's where you want to be. That's what attracted me to Plug. And when I tell you, Plug was on CNBC this week. If you're remotely interested in stocks, you need to be tuned into CNBC at 6 p.m. every evening for 1 hour. And you will get tidbits. And I promise you, he talks really fast. His name is Jim Cramer. He talks fast, but he has the heartbeat, the pulse of what's going on. So clean energy is where you want to be in the Biden administration, because and also infrastructure. So when I say infrastructure, I mean semiconductors. Like Taiwan Semiconductor today went up a great deal. Now it's $100 stock, but Joe Biden is looking to rebuild the infrastructure. That means bridges, roads, that kind of stuff. So he's going to be those stocks that support it. Look for the stocks that support what he's trying to do. Look for the stocks that support solar. Look for anything when you go out to buy a panel for your house. Those are the stocks you want to get in. And don't jump in and start chasing a stock, please. And I know it gets tempting, but trust me, just like the old adage says, everything that goes up, eventually it comes down. Now, it may not come all the way, but it will pull back. Like today, I have a small group that I text, when I have information to share. And I texted them this morning. I said, today is a buying opportunity. Everybody woke up and like, oh my God, the stock market is down. I'm like, oh my God, I get to buy some more Plug. And I bought some more Plug while it was down $5. And guess what? By the end of the day, it was back to even levels or a few cents above. But that's what you want to do. But I've been learning along this whole 9-month challenge. It's a learning curve. But what I try to do is I just try to share information, because if I can help someone along the way, I feel like my purpose here is being served. But again, if you want to learn, go to my YouTube channel. I'll walk you through step by step from the first video all the way how I did it. And it doesn't take a lot of money. You can open a TD Ameritrade account with $50. I'm not sure what Robinhood takes to open, but it doesn't take a lot. So don't think, oh my God, I gotta have $5,000. No, you don't. You can start with $50. But like Bridget said, you have to start somewhere. So if you start saving and you get 12 months on, you look back and see how much you've accomplished. Same thing with the stock market. But, don't get disenchanted. If it doesn't go up every day, nothing's going to go up every day. But my name is Anita. And again, I'm open for any questions you have. But on the stimulus, on the tax season, these things are designed to help people that are struggling, help hardworking people. And if there's any questions that I can answer or anything I can do to help you, you just need to reach out on my email or my YouTube channel, and I'll be happy to do so. I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Bridget.
All right, so we have some questions, Anita.
Okay, good. Because I
let you go that quick.
Okay.
So do you share those stocks on your YouTube channel as well?
You know what? I don't share all of them because this is the thing. I will now. My YouTube channel is fairly new. I've only had it for about a month now, so I will start sharing them. But I've shared several starter stocks, the inexpensive ones. But I will start to do that more as we go along. But the thing is, and I will tell you on my YouTube, because I'm telling you, that's just my opinion. I want you to go out there and do your due diligence. Go on Yahoo Finance and read about the stock. The stock may not sound like something you want to invest in. That's okay. It's just my opinion and what I'm doing, and I'm just sharing what I'm doing. But I will start sharing that on my YouTube channel.
Okay, thank you. Another question is, and I think you just answered it. Do people need to study how the stock market works before buying and trading?
Yes. And when you listen to my YouTube channel, what I want you to do when you get in here, if you get a TD Ameritrade, practice with fake money. They're going to let you open up an account, and it's going to be paper. It's going to be paper trading. It's not going to be green. it's going to be brown. So it's going to let you know it's not live. But you're trading the exact number of stocks for the exact amount of money that it's trading live. But it's a practice. And they're going to open that account with $100,000. Okay. And when I tell you the first month I did it, I blew through $20,000. I was so glad I won my money. So you have to practice with their money, but it's letting you know where you would be if it was your money. Okay. So they're going to give you $100,000 to spend just like you're in the stock market. And you use that to practice and to hone your skills or whatever the case may be. And when you see yourself like, okay, I had a day where I broke even, I had a day where I made some money. Now you're starting to understand how the stock market works. And the one thing I will say is don't get too many stocks that you're trying to watch at one time because you will go crazy. I have four screens and a laptop set up, okay? And my sister calls it a Christmas tree because that's what it looked like because I'm trying to watch, so many stocks. But if you're new, that can be overwhelming. So pick one or two stocks and just watch those two. Trade those two until you're comfortable. So if you want to start off with BFARF, start off with that one. If you want to start off with CAN, that's a $6. Start off with those two stocks. Buy 5 shares, see how it goes. If it like it's trending up, buy 5 more. Okay. But if it takes off and it just keeps going, let it run. Let your money run until the stock market takes a breath. And then when it takes a breath, then you add to your position. Okay. Because you don't want to chase it.
All right. Next, thank you, Anita. The next question is, how can I join your text list?
All you have to do is, well, text. You can text Bridget or you can text Pastor, and they'll give me your information, and and they'll text it to me, and I just add you to the text, and when I have something to share, I just text it. It's normally early in the morning, that before the market opens, I try to text.
Thank you. I know, Anita, sometimes with new investors, the market can be a little intimidating as well as they don't understand, they don't see it moving
Right.
in an upward trend. And so it does take some patience. And I would say to everyone who's joining, that, like Anita said, partnering with someone who understands the market is the way to go, and invest what you can afford to. You don't have to jump out there really, really big. When I first started investing years ago, I really was, as my kids call it, ear hustling.
Mhm.
So I was working with a group of tech guys, and they were talking about stock, and so I asked one to explain it to me, and he did, and then I said, well, I don't know, I'm not real sure right now. And let me just tell you, wish I know what I know now, but you can't look back.
You
I
can.
always tell Pastor, you can't look back. We can't look back.
Sure.
So, and you know what? We have a little bit of fun with it.
We do.
Anita makes it exciting and fun. The list, although it's serious when you're talking about your money, but some of the stock, we try to find a little funny cartoon to go with it when it's going up so that everybody is excited about what they see happening, with their investments. So start small. The videos are awesome. I started, one of my goals towards the end of the year was to get my family investing. And they all have. I've got one that, every now and then I have to sit him down and have a little chat with him because he can't pull out.
Mhm.
It's the patience. We're learning patience together.
Right.
Uh, and I was going to tell you his story, but he walked in. So I think I better keep that one to myself.
Thank you, Dr.
Um, but I tell you, it's been great, and I feel like I've been the student learning right along with Anita. When she gets passionate about something, she really goes all in, and she really, like she said, watch those videos. She watched those videos, and she's a good student. I will give her that. When she set her mind to something, she sticks with it until she masters it. Um, And with that being said, Anita, we had another question. Would you suggest that someone starting out day trading or invest for long term?
One, it's gonna depend on your time allocation because day trading, it requires you to pay attention. When and this is my thing. I have an account that I use for day trading and I have a long-term account. So I have some investments that I make and I set them and forget them and just, kind of let them do their thing over there. But day trading, you want to watch every tick of that chart because my rule of thumb, if I see this is how day trading works. If the chart is green, the stock is going up. If the stock is red, it's coming down. Okay. So my rule of thumb, I sit here and I watch. And if I see like three or four tricks and no green, it's trending the wrong way for me. So I'll wait. And then because this is what you want to remember. You have to put in the time if you're going to day trade. This is not something you get in and make a trade and go and come in here at 9:30 and walk away for the rest of the day because you'll come back and be like, oh my God. Day trading is just that. You're trying to get in that position and out of that position in the same day. Okay. Now, swing trading is different. Long-term trading is different. Swing trading is if you buy a stock and you hold it for maybe a few days, a few weeks, or maybe even a couple months. That's swing trading. Okay. Long-term trading is I'm 56. The stuff I'm putting in here, I want it to be ready when I'm ready to retire. I want it to sit there and just keep appreciating. I keep adding to it every month, and I want it to keep appreciating. That's the Apples. That's the Teslas. That's the companies that it's gonna. If they go under, the whole stock market's probably gonna go under. So it just depends on your time allocation. If you can put in 2 to 3 hours every day, and Bridget will tell you in the evening, I'm doing my due diligence. I'm reading to see what's happening for tomorrow. It takes time. So it just depends on your time allocation. But I will say if you're going to day trade, don't walk away from that computer and come back and be surprised because you want to sit there and watch it. And then once you exit that trade, then you go about your business and go to lunch or whatever you want to do. So it just depends on your time.
All right. We have another question, Anita.
Mhm.
Should persons 70 plus years start investing in stock or just be satisfied with their annuities and IRAs?
Now, again, my personality, I would tell you yes because one, both of my parents are in their 80s. And the one thing it's gonna do, it's gonna make you use your mental state because you're gonna be reading, you're gonna be listening, and that's gonna keep you sharp. That's gonna keep the memory problems at bay because you're constantly working your brain when you're reading and looking at stuff. That's the first thing that I would say. Two is what I just had one of my tax people call me yesterday. He's 71. He was like, Anita, these people are telling me I got to take some of my money out of this annuity and I don't want to. They're going to make you. If they don't, they're going to penalize you anyway. So what you don't realize is I have people that come to me and when they've been smart and investing, guess what? They're paying taxes on those annuities now in their 70s because they don't have the write-off. The mortgages are gone. The kids are gone. So now you're in your 70s and the annuities are taxing you. And if you're making more money than the tax that you've taken out, you're going to be paying taxes on this money. So what I tell people, yes, get you a SEP IRA because then you can write that off. If you can put in up to $7,500 in a regular IRA, if you open a SEP IRA, which is the self-employed IRA, you can put in up to $56,000 and write it off every year. So I would tell anybody at 70 with nothing but time on your hands, that's what you want to do. Because when you have nothing but time on your hands, you can sit there and do some investment, and you'll get just as excited as me and Bridget get when we make some money. It's the same thing. So I would say yes to that question.
Okay. Well, everyone, I don't see any additional questions coming in. I think we answered all of them that have come in. We're excited about this new year.
Yeah.
New year, new opportunities for us. I am working on a whole host of information and guest speakers to come and join us and talk about financial freedom. If there's a topic that you're passionate about, you want to know more about,
Ooh, you got a lot of backstage. Ooh, you got a lot of backstage.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Please
Okay.
reach out. That might have been me leaning up. And before we get off, I would like to have everybody, join me in wishing Anita traveling mercies. She'll be going down for tax season, but she's committed to still joining us when she can. I know she's extremely busy when she's down there. So you guys, if you will just keep her lifted in your prayers as she heads down to Darren to start her tax season. If you need a tax preparer, I can't think of a better one than Anita. She's very patient, and like she says, when her people have a question, she answers the phone and she responds immediately, and that's so important because I've been on the other end of that where my tax preparer wasn't answering and I needed information immediately. So that is really key when you look at who you choose to prepare your taxes. And she's very professional as well, and I think that's equally important. All right. Well, listen, everybody, thank you so much. And then we'll get ready to leave you all, and everybody be safe, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.